and young women who were victimized by Epstein and Maxwell in a ring.
I know there are videos and photos. I know that Jeffrey had recording cameras in his house.
Powerful people who caused us harm are being protected and we're being exposed. It is meant to silence us.
Straight to jail, straight to jail. For questioning at least, Erika. Look, I have seen enough, ladies and gentlemen. I've seen enough. Erika Kirk should be dragged into a police precinct for questioning. Like I said, you can show me the person who disagrees with me on that. After I will reveal to you what we can now confirm, you can show me that individual and I will show you a blown fraud. That's the only people that would disagree with that assessment. I said to my team this morning that the amount of evidence that is now piling up, I would say against Erika Kirk.
Ladies and gentlemen, what in the actual world is happening right now? I'm sitting here, coffee in hand, and the internet just exploded like a fireworks factory on the 4th of July. Fresh leaks, resurfaced clips, and whispers from sources close to the situation are flying around faster than Ellen's private jet ever did. And right in the middle of it all, Erika Kirk. You remember her, the name that used to live quietly in the background of those late-night forum threads. Suddenly, one single mention tied to an old Epstein-related conversation, and boom, the whole timeline lights up like a Christmas tree. Ellen's name pops back into the chat. Did us old laugh-out-loud interviews start trending again? And now everyone's connecting dots they didn't even know existed yesterday. Is it smoke? Is it fire? Or is it just the wildest coincidence in Hollywood political crossover history? I don't know about you, but I've seen enough nothing to see here moments to know when the internet starts smelling something, it usually ends up being one spicy story. Buckle up, besties, because this one just got intense. Ladies and gentlemen, let's cut straight through the noise and talk about what's actually blowing up timelines right now. For years, Erika Kirk's name sat quietly in the background of certain conversations. You know the ones, scattered forum threads, late-night comment sections, the occasional resurfaced clip that most people would scroll right past. She was the polished, ambitious face of Turning Point USA, the woman who stepped into big shoes after Charlie Kirk, always camera-ready, always on message. Easy to dismiss as just another rising voice in conservative circles. Then, almost overnight, everything shifted. One single mention tied to an old Epstein-related conversation that had been floating around for a while, and suddenly the internet lit up like someone flipped the switch on a million conspiracy boards at once. Ellen DeGeneres' name got dragged back into the same chat. Old interviews started trending again. Diddy clips from years ago began circulating with fresh captions. And just like that, people who never cared about any of this yesterday are now drawing lines they swear were hiding in plain sight. Now, before anyone gets ahead of themselves, let's be crystal clear. We're dealing with whispers, resurfaced footage, and a whole lot of according to sources close to the situation talk. Nothing is proven. Nothing is confirmed in any courtroom. But the timing? Oh, the timing is raising more eyebrows than a bad Botox job on reality TV. Think about it. Ellen packs up, leaves the United States, and settles in England. Public story? Politics got too loud. She wanted a fresh start, fresh air, the whole good riddance to the drama narrative. Sounds reasonable on paper, right? Except this move happened right around the same window when more Epstein file chatter started heating up again and certain high-profile names were being whispered about in the same breath. Coincidence? Maybe. But the internet doesn't do maybe anymore. It does full-blown detective mode with popcorn. And right in the middle of that storm sits Erika Kirk. Her background reads like a perfectly curated success story: pageantry, fashion circles, media exposure, elite networking events. The kind of world where powerful people cross paths over canapes and small talk.
Hello, Sean Diddy Combs. How are you?
I'm doing great. How you doing?
I'm doing fantastic, thank you. Do you like being scared? No, I'm not going to scare you.
Don't do that.
No, I know. I'm not going to do it. I have to thank you because the last time you were here, you turned me on to Twitter. I knew nothing about Twitter,
Yes.
and now it is so much fun. I'm playing so many games, and I get to give things away and help people out.
You get to connect to the people. You get to make sure that they know that you care about them, and it's also you get to hear how they feeling about certain situations, and you get the news quicker than the news gives it to you.
For the longest time, it all looked like classic ambition. Smart, driven, climbing the ladder the old-fashioned way. But now, people are going back through old interviews, old photos, old travel stories, and asking questions they never bothered to ask before.
Take that Romania project she was involved with.
Presented as pure humanitarian work. Helping kids, sending gifts, outreach programs, all the feel-good optics you could ask for. On the surface, beautiful. But some online sleuths started digging into the paperwork, the partnerships, the timelines, and suddenly things didn't line up as cleanly as the press releases suggested. Missing details here, vague explanations there. Nothing illegal on record, just enough gaps to make people tilt their heads and go hem. Then there's the fashion angle. Resurfaced clips show her pitching herself hard to big-name designers, the kind of designers who move in the same stratosphere as the ultra-elite. She talked about being adaptable, coachable, ready to jump on a plane with 30 minutes notice, living out of a suitcase like a total gypsy. Again, on its own, it's just an ambitious young woman chasing opportunity. But when you drop that clip into the current conversation alongside everything else, suddenly it feels like part of a bigger puzzle. And don't even get me started on the Ellen Diddy connection that keeps resurfacing like a bad penny.
Remember those old interviews?
Ellen laughing it up with Sean Combs, inside jokes flying, party invites being tossed around like confetti. You're definitely invited, you just haven't shown up yet.
The audience eating it up.
At the time it was pure entertainment television, light, fun, celebrity fluff.
But now?
With everything that's come out about certain private parties and controlled environments in later years, people are re-watching those exact moments with a completely different set of eyes.
The laughter sounds a little different.
The after-party talk hits different. The casual name-dropping of hotel floors and late-night vibes suddenly feels like it's carrying extra weight. Erika's timeline, according to the online investigators, doesn't sit in a separate universe from those same social circles. Fashion weeks, pageants, networking events, the places where the powerful and the connected bump shoulders without ever making the evening news.
Nothing direct.
Nothing proven. Just overlapping worlds that, once you start lining them up,
Start to feel a little too close for comfort. And here's where it gets spicy.
Ellen's sudden relocation to England happened right around the same period when Trump started talking about releasing more files and certain Hollywood names started looking nervous. Publicly, she said it was about politics and personal peace. But the internet, being the internet, immediately started asking, was the timing really that innocent? Or was someone reading the room and deciding distance might be the best defense? Meanwhile, Erika finds herself pulled closer into the conversation instead of further away. Mentions,
rumors, old clips gaining new life.
The kind of perfect storm that turns a background name into trending topic royalty overnight. People aren't screaming accusations in the streets, not yet. They are doing what the internet does best, connecting dots, sharing screenshots, posting side-by-side timelines with red arrows and dramatic zoom-ins.
Look at this date. Look at that flight.
Look at who was photographed where. It's digital detective work on steroids. Posted a side-by-side of Ellen's old Diddy interview next to a screenshot of Erika at a fashion event and captioned it "Same universe." It got hundreds of thousands of likes before the platform even had time to blink. According to anonymous sources who claim to have worked in entertainment circles during that era, these overlaps weren't rare. Everyone knew everyone, one supposed insider told a podcast recently. You'd see the same faces at after-parties, fashion weeks, and private fundraisers.
It was all part of the game.
Whether that game was innocent networking or something more calculated is exactly what the internet is debating right now. Erika Kirk has always presented herself as a straight-shooting, no-nonsense leader. Her public image is built on family values, hard work, and conservative principles. That's why the sudden swirl of questions feels especially jarring to her supporters. They see it as an attempt to smear a rising star who threatens certain narratives. Her critics, on the other hand, say the questions are fair game because transparency matters, especially when someone steps into such a visible role. The resurfaced pizza references in old celebrity interviews have added another layer of meme-worthy chaos to the mix. What started as innocent food talk on talk shows has been twisted into conspiracy fodder by people with too much time and editing software. Ellen casually mentioning pizza in multiple segments now gets replayed with dramatic music and red circles. It's silly, it's over the top, and yet it keeps the conversation alive because people love a good running joke. Still, beneath the memes and the sarcasm, a serious question lingers. How connected are these worlds really? When you have entertainment royalty, music industry giants, political activists, and international charity work all brushing against the same elite circles, it's natural for curious minds to wonder where the lines actually blur. None of this is a direct accusation. These are observations pulled from publicly available clips, old interviews, and the kind of timeline mapping that thousands of armchair detectives are doing in real time. The beauty and the danger of the internet is that it never sleeps. It keeps digging, keeps comparing, keeps asking what if, until something sticks or the next bigger story takes over. Right now, Erika Kirk is feeling the heat of that spotlight. Ellen DeGeneres is watching from across the ocean. And the rest of us are refreshing our feeds wondering what new clip or leaked detail will drop next. The pattern that keeps emerging is one of access and ambition. Young women trying to make it in tough industries. Powerful figures offering doors, opportunities, and sometimes invitations to worlds most people never see. When those doors open, do they lead to success, or to situations that later become uncomfortable to explain? That's the uncomfortable gray area everyone is dancing around. And as more old footage gets dusted off and more timelines get aligned, the conversation isn't slowing down. If anything, it's picking up speed. Because once the internet decides a story has legs, it doesn't let go easily. It runs with it, adds its own soundtrack, and turns quiet background names into trending topics overnight. Erika Kirk's name is trending for reasons that go far beyond politics. Ellen's relocation is being scrutinized for reasons that go beyond needing a break. And the overlapping social circles? They are being examined like never before. The real question everyone keeps coming back to is this: when the dust settles, will we see these as harmless coincidences, or as pieces of a much larger, more complicated picture? Only time, and perhaps a few more leaks, will tell. Only time, and perhaps a few more leaks, will tell. What's fascinating about this entire situation is how quickly public reaction has split into two very loud camps. On one side, you have Erika Kirk supporters who see the sudden interest as nothing more than a coordinated smear campaign designed to take down a strong, conservative voice who has been gaining serious influence. They argue that in today's hyperpolarized world, any successful woman on the right becomes an automatic target the moment she steps into the spotlight. They couldn't beat her ideas, so now they are trying to bury her in rumors, one popular commentator posted yesterday, and the quote has been shared thousands of times. On the other side, you have the skeptics and online investigators who insist they are simply asking fair questions. They point out that when powerful people move in the same elite circles, fashion, media, politics, and international philanthropy, it's only natural for patterns to emerge. They are not claiming anyone is guilty of anything. They are just saying the overlaps deserve a closer look, especially when old names from Epstein-related conversations start appearing alongside fresh chatter about Ellen and DeGeneres' old interviews. The humor in all of this is almost cinematic. One day Erika is giving a serious speech about turning points in American culture. The next day she's trending because someone found a 10-year-old clip of her talking about being ready to travel at a moment's notice. Meanwhile, Ellen is probably sipping tea in the English countryside while her old couch interviews are being dissected like crime scene evidence. The internet has turned what used to be harmless celebrity fluff into full-blown mystery thriller material, complete with dramatic zooms and conspiracy playlists on Spotify. According to several anonymous sources who claim to have been around the entertainment and political scenes during those years, these kind of crossovers were more common than most people realize. You'd run into the same crowd at Fashion Week in New York, then again at a charity event in Europe, and later at a private fundraiser in Los Angeles, one supposed insider shared on a recent podcast. It wasn't some secret cabal. It was just how the upper echelons of success worked. Access created more access. Whether that access was always innocent or sometimes led to uncomfortable situations is exactly the gray area that keeps fueling the conversation. Now the fallout is starting to show in real time. Erika Kirk's team has stayed mostly quiet, which some see as smart damage control and others see as suspicious silence. Her supporters are flooding comment sections defending her character and track record. Meanwhile, the questions keep multiplying faster than anyone can answer them. Why the sudden interest in her Romania trips? Why the marine logistics for what she described as simple gift shipments? Why the timing of Ellen's move abroad right as more old files and names started circulating again? None of these questions equal proof of wrongdoing. They are simply the kind of dots that curious minds can't help connecting when the spotlight swings in an unexpected direction. And right now that spotlight is burning brighter than ever. Even more interesting is how this story has spilled over into broader discussions about accountability among the elite. For years, people have watched as certain powerful figures seemed untouchable no matter what rumors swirled around them. Now, with social media acting as a global magnifying glass, those same figures are finding it harder to stay above the noise. Ellen stepping away from the American spotlight at this particular moment has only added fuel to the fire. Was it really about politics and needing peace, or was it a strategic decision to create distance while old conversations gained new life? The public backlash has been swift and merciless in typical internet fashion.
Memes are flying. Old photos are being re-examined.
Timelines are being mapped with color-coded charts that look like they belong in an FBI briefing room. Some creators are even making hour-long deep dives comparing travel records, event guest lists, and interview quotes. It's investigative journalism meets reality TV, and the audience is eating it up. What makes this situation particularly spicy is the contrast in public images. Erika Kirk built her brand on traditional values, family, and conservative principles. Ellen built hers on friendliness, inclusivity, and feel-good television. When those two very different worlds appear to brush against each other through shared social circles and resurfaced chatter, it creates the kind of cognitive dissonance that the internet loves to exploit. Supporters of both women argue this is guilt by association at its worst. They say linking someone to a scandal simply because they moved in similar elite circles is unfair and dangerous. Critics counter that when the circles include names that have appeared in sensitive conversations before, asking questions isn't unfair, it's responsible. The real tension lies in the fact that we may never get clear answers. These worlds operate behind layers of PR teams, lawyers, and carefully worded statements.
Leaks come and go.
Clips get taken out of context. Timelines get twisted depending on who's telling the story. In the end, the public is left to decide for themselves what feels like coincidence and what feels like something more. And that's exactly why this story refuses to die. It taps into something deeper than celebrity gossip. It taps into the growing distrust many people feel toward anyone who operates at the highest levels of power, whether in entertainment, politics, or philanthropy. When the same names and faces keep appearing in multiple uncomfortable contexts, even the most skeptical observers start wondering if there's more to the pattern than random chance. Right now, the conversation is still mostly speculative. We're in that delicious phase where every new clip, every old interview, and every alleged leak feels like it could be the one that changes everything. Erika Kirk finds herself at the center of a storm she probably never saw coming. Ellen DeGeneres is watching from a safe distance across the ocean, and millions of people are refreshing their feeds waiting for the next twist. Will more details emerge that force actual investigations?
Will both women eventually address the chatter directly?
Or will this slowly fade away like so many other viral storms, leaving only memes and half-remembered suspicions behind? The internet has a short attention span, but it also has an incredibly long memory. Once a name gets tied to certain questions, those questions tend to follow like shadows. For Erika Kirk, this moment represents both a challenge and an opportunity, a chance to either rise above the noise or get swallowed by it. For Ellen, the move abroad might buy time, but it hasn't stopped the conversation from following her. At the end of the day, what we're witnessing is the modern version of high society scrutiny. In the age of smartphones and endless scrolling, no one stays hidden for long. Every old interview can be reborn as evidence. Every humanitarian trip can be re-examined under a microscope. Every friendly celebrity chat can be replayed with suspicious music.
It's chaotic. It's entertaining.
And sometimes, just sometimes, it actually uncovers truths that powerful people would rather keep buried. Whether this particular story leads anywhere meaningful or simply burns out in a blaze of memes remains to be seen. But one thing is certain, the questions are out there now, and they are not going away quietly. The public wants answers. The internet demands them. And right now, both Erika Kirk and Ellen DeGeneres are finding themselves in the uncomfortable position of having to navigate a spotlight that shows no signs of dimming anytime soon. Because in today's world, when the dots start connecting themselves, even the most carefully crafted images can start to crack under the pressure. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is exactly why this story got so incredibly intense.
So here we are, folks.
Another wild chapter in the never-ending saga of elite circles, resurfaced clips, and questions that refuse to stay buried. Whether you believe this is all innocent coincidence or something that deserves a much closer look, one thing is undeniable. The internet has once again turned quiet background names into front-page drama overnight. Erika Kirk went from giving policy speeches to trending worldwide in a matter of days. Ellen DeGeneres traded sunny California for English countryside right as the old conversations started heating up again. And the rest of us? We're sitting here connecting dots, replaying old interviews, and wondering how many more nothing to see here moments we're supposed to accept before we start asking louder questions.
Is any of this proven?
Absolutely not. Are the timelines suspicious and the overlapping circles curious? According to thousands of voices online, yes. And that gray area is exactly where the real conversation lives.
Here's what I want to know from you right now.
Do you think the timing of Ellen's move abroad was pure coincidence, or was she simply reading the room before things got even louder? Is Erika Kirk being unfairly targeted because of her rising influence? Or are people right to examine the patterns more carefully? And most importantly, when powerful people from entertainment, politics, and philanthropy keep showing up in the same stories year after year, how long should we keep calling it just networking?
Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Be respectful, but be honest. Do you smell smoke? Or is this all just digital smoke and mirrors? Tell me which side you're on and why. I read every single comment.
If you're new here and you love deep dives into stories the mainstream won't touch, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications.
We're just getting started.
There's way more coming on these overlapping worlds, the resurfaced footage, and the questions powerful people hope we stop asking. Smash the like button if you want more no-holds-barred breakdowns like this one. Share this video with someone who needs to see it. The more eyes on these stories, the harder it becomes for anyone to sweep them under the rug. Thanks for watching all the way through. Stay curious, stay skeptical, and never stop asking the uncomfortable questions. Because in a world this connected, the truth rarely stays hidden for long.
I'll see you in the next one.
Until then, keep your eyes open.